as time goes on. So, we'll see. And we got Darth Vader from set 1 on George's, so it's the battle of the apprentices, I guess.
Yeah, my key with Dooku has always been, how do you balance the cards that naturally have exploit versus giving something that didn't have it exploit, and what good separatist cards are there out there to work with Dooku like that? Because like with blue Dooku, you could exploit out the Dooku unit from set 1. So you had some good options there.
And
Trying to see what
I
they're
think
like. I literally just went to Star Wars and searched by separatist to see what options we've got.
Yeah. So one big one is Invincible. I mean, Invincible is undercosted for a separatist because it only costs 5 in the first place. So I mean, you can easily have
That's only if you have a unique separatist, right? So you need.
I think your leader counts though. So
That's what I'm trying to find it, to see if it says unique separatist unit. Because also, I don't think your leader has traits as on the leader side. It does say unique separatist card.
So maybe GandorK, if you're still listening, let me know.
Yeah,
that
because
sure.
what I'm not sure of is I'm not sure if the leader if the leader's traits count on the leader side.
Yeah, far as I know,
Chat is saying leader does count.
Yep.
But yeah, Invincible for 5 and then exploiting it down for 3, just playing it on turn 2, that sounds solid to me. I'm in.
All right, so we are already in business here. So we have double 1-drops. We have 2 of the first order TIE fighters, the 2-1, that if it sees a token unit, it will get raid 1. And both of them come down for Vader, which is a very strong space start into Dooku. And we have the 3-1 Sentinel, played by our Dooku player, and George responds with his boy Admiral Hux.
So this is normally when you want to play Hux here, because he can still ping, and now now he's added 2 more power in space, so he gets to ping, kill the 3-1, and then attack for 4. So a lot of times you don't play Hux on turn 1 unless your goal is to draw cards, and in this matchup, I think his goal is more to get in some damage and potentially control the board from some early space units.
And we just talked about that in the I guess I talked in the Vader deck I did, but Vader wants to play undercurve, and I have played a ton of Darth Vader 1. I won a couple of showdowns with it, set 1. There, and oh my god, that was both the earliest concede I've seen. But look at that! I mean, let's get on with it, folks. He did not want to deal with the.
Well, it's important to save time. If you think you're not going to win game 1, I think it's important to make sure that you don't time out going into game 2. So they really being time conscious here. Also, it's dinner time. It's the last round of the day.
Yep. I would say that there's a good chance people are checking their phones quite a bit right now by the bandwidth that I see coming out of Richmond. Coming through. There's nothing any of us can do about stream quality during a match. If you want to petition these convention centers to sell internet per day for less than like $9,000, then maybe we'd get some hardware.
I believe it was 80,000.
It can be. Somebody actually found the exact price for this convention center earlier, and it was $9,000 a day. And we don't have that, but we have this, and we had a group of engineer. I'm sure that it was Dooku that scooped with that start.
Yeah, I mean, George is not scooping there. George is in an amazing position.
Yeah, and the Dooku's player name is Josh. R. So I've never seen somebody without a last name in Melee. I don't know what that means. Maybe his last name's R. Who knows? But we know he's decisive.
Yeah.
Seeing that result and going there. So we'll update this and get the logos. But yeah, Vader just steps on the gas with 2 1-drops on turn 1 and then a relevant there. And I imagine
attacking for 4 on turn 2 and clearing your board with 3 units left over is pretty wild. It's a pretty wild swing.
And I mean, I think he saw his cards for the next round on Resource 4 and didn't see a space unit. And with Hux, it gives raid to every first order, right?
Every first order, yep.
So, I mean, they're attacking for at least 3 each, right? Because if he can find a way to make a token, then...
Yeah, if he can make a token. There's not a ton. There's not as many ways to make a token in this deck. It's a little bit harder. Then obviously Vader Pilot makes them really easily.
Yes.
But they are 1-drop first order units, which is the main reason they're in here and good. And there are ways to make tokens, but it's not nowhere near as consistent for the token side of things, for sure.
All right, so let me get the tally updated. It is Vader up 1-0. Not Quinlan, even though...
Jicky asking in chat, these guys are both X1. So the winner of this is automatically in day 2, and the loser has to wait to see on breakers.
Yep.
I know George's breakers are really good. He was listed pretty high in the standing, so he's probably in either way. I don't know about his opponent.
All right, so we're going to game 2. If I'm sideboarding for Dooku as Vader, I'm really looking for extra removal, because Dooku can get really big with exploits, and then you got to try to deal with it.
I'm curious if the Dooku player is saying, "Oh, you're an aggro deck. I didn't realize you were an aggro deck. I'm gonna scoop and sideboard all my anti-aggro cards."
Yep.
And now he's not going to be ready for, Devastators and things like that to come out in game 2.
Right. So, responding to the chat, I mean, 597 was the paid registration. 582 is how many people played. So that's just
you always get some pre-tournament drops and whatnot and stuff like that. Some day of no-shows.
And for those that said Melee's terrible, I just think you're wrong. I mean, they're doing a really good job on...
I love it. I mean, the biggest thing, for me, Melee, it's the same as with FFG, where you can be disappointed in things, you can be missing features, but the fact that they're open to feedback and changing things and trying to make a product that we all like, that's what matters to me.
But...
I mean, Brad Nelson was at the Denver sector. He was just there as a representative for Melee to make sure that they were represented, and you could go talk to him about stuff, and he was there to troubleshoot problems on the ground. Like, it was great.
A Rebel Trader, friend and sarcastic to the last, says, was the sideboarding longer than the first game? Potentially.
Absolutely.
And that Confederate opener, the 2-1, does not feel good into a Darth Vader deck, I'll tell you what. And it got price on the head put onto it, which is spicy for George.
Not long for this world, I think.
Yep. And that is Kylo Tai. Coming down for George, setting up the ping and the ramp. Price on the head does not ready like
it's
like
just
Super Laser
just
Tech.
Resupply. It's not a Super Laser Tech. Yeah.
Right, but it is very good if you're Vader to be able to ramp. That's one of your pressure points in this matchup, because what Dooku really needs to do is get something big out there. There. Okay, so he's able to take care of the Kylo Tai with the ambushy ship.
Still gets the ramp.
Yep, and he's going to get the ramp.
George is incredibly happy with this trade, I think.
Oh, yeah. So, does take 2 damage to base. So, 2 damage on Vader's base. Dooku is got a clean sheet so far. And has a battle droid.
He does have a little bit of exploit fodder with the token left over from the ship, so he could we could potentially see the Invincible here.
We're gonna get a 6. It's gonna be Invisible Hand. So Invisible Hand, what it does is
another good one.
It lets him play 2-drop droids, and this could be anything. I mean, it could be one of the Separatist droids. It could also be an R2. I've seen that in some.
Yeah. I've seen R2s and C-3POs in these.
But did he whiff?
Looks like he whiffed.
Oh, that is brutal. And I actually saw some of the cards in his whiff, too, so he did not like seeing that. Because some of his big
it really
heavy
depends
hitters...
on the deck construction. It's hard to say. Prepare for takeoff from George. It's hard to say on the deck construction how... I'm curious how many hits he has and how unlucky he got, because he might just be playing it as, hey, I have a big invisible hand, and sometimes I'll hit the 3/1 droid sentinel, and sometimes I won't.
Yeah. And Hugo says... Dooku should have 1 damage on base. Yes, correct. From the Vader ping, round 1, it should be. We did request.
I believe it says 1.
Yeah, and it's tough. So we did request that the players use the tokens that appear on stream on
Oh
stream.
no, it definitely says 0. It's clear on stream, but yeah.
It's so if you're ever in one of these events playing on a feature table, I mean, if you're struggling right now to see the base damage on Dooku's base, this is what happens if you don't listen to the request from the coverage to do it, because it's visible.
They're easy to read easy-ish to read in person. Even then, sometimes I have to keep leaning over and see it.
And lots of Magic players, and I do myself, I keep a running total of base damage at all times there. But I mean, I still, both because it's in the rules and because it's a good thing to do, I still update the damage on the base itself, and you are required to mark it in some way. Okay, so he gets the 2/3 Separatist droid, Separatist Commando, maybe it's named.
Yeah, where if you have another Separatist, it gets +1 in raid, I believe. Yep. Gets bigger in raid.
So that's a strong play from Invisible Hand, but you're about to see the Dark Lord of the Sith, because resupply carrier hit.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what he wants to do. Resupply carrier, flip when you weren't expecting it. That lets him clear the board. We know he has a reinforcement walker because he got it off prep for takeoff. So this is what George designed this deck to do, is exactly this. And he did the math to make sure it can do it consistently. We'll see. It looks like there's an answer here. There's an OB. So that is enough. Yeah, Invisible Hand is enough. So yeah, George doesn't get to clear the board. We still have the reinforcement walker coming. So I'd imagine George is going to claim, kill the Invisible Hand, and play Reinforcement Walker. But yeah, good answer having the OB ready for Dooku. He was not fooled by the rampant early flip.
Yep. Nope. So that's real big, swing right there, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
And you
if George flips, clears the board, and plays a Walker, then I think the game is kind of over. But yeah, the OB really helped save it. Yep. Devastator coming out instead of the Reinforcement Walker.
And Devastator is a great set 4 card. George's deck is vehicle based. I mean, we can see that already from what is on stream. Dooku plays a super laser tech, which is scary for Dooku to have.
Yeah, I mean, Dooku can flip next turn, but there's 13 power in space right now.
All right, so
that's
he
a
has,
lot, and there's still a Reinforcement Walker coming later.
Yeah, he has 4 damage marked to base. He plays the ship that I'm kind of mad is a space unit.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a space unit, that's for sure.
Well, I don't think that in the lore it was a space unit either.
I mean, unless that ground is space ground, I think it's on the ground.
No, that is a space unit. He has it in the correct arena.
I know. I'm just saying in terms of art versus where the card should be.
Both of these players are 6-1. We wanted to get a spicy matchup, and Dooku Yellow versus Vader Vault is a spicy matchup.
Yeah.
I did update the overlay. This is Dooku Yellow, which you guys should be able to see.
Yeah, I mean, the shield is not nothing here. I mean, we see the OB. Does get to kill the Dooku, though, so that's huge. He doesn't have an extra damage to ping off the shield, which is really unfortunate because getting that shield off would be pretty convenient.
Yeah, and let me see if I can figure out the name of that Separatist ship with the shield. If anybody has it, let me know.
It is Techno Union Transport.
Techno Union Transport, that's right. Put that up on that. That is not a widely played card, but it is a cool card. And
it is not, but I still had the Star Wars Unlimited base website open set to Separatist to see what Dooku might be playing.
Oh, there you go. See, that's what I like about you, Jeff. I like calling matches with you because you're ahead of the game.
Change of heart on the Devastator.
Ooh,
so this is some big damage coming in.
It's a big play. Can Vader respond? George is looking for an answer.
Yeah. He attacked base with the resupply carrier. I think he's assuming that his resupply carrier is going to die, and I think the Dooku player is deciding if he has enough damage that he should go base or if he needs to trade.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he cannot exploit the ship this turn since Dooku died. Well, sorry, he can't exploit for cheaper using Dooku. He has to have just a natural exploit card.
Right, but Dooku still runs a lot of exploit cards. So, all he needs is like the the droid that's probably in his deck, the saboteur
Yeah,
droid.
I think that's what he would need. He only has 2 up, so it would likely have to be the I'm trying to
Infiltrating Demolisher. I
or
think is the name of that
infiltrating
card.
Demolisher. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm showing.
Yeah, if he has an infiltrating Demolisher, he could play that to exploit the Devastator.
Yep. So he taps 3 resources. Can he get rid of the Devastator while it's Change-Hearted? It's kind of steal your girl there. He has a Separatist.
That is not getting rid of it. He plays the Courier Transport again. But George is up to 26, so I think he's going to just try to close it out with damage.
Right.
Dooku's only at 9 damage on base right now, so I think George is going to have to look for an overwhelming barrage or something to...
so if those of you recall our interview with George, where he says that no disintegrations is, objectively better than overwhelming barrage, which would you rather have right now? Let me ask you that, George.
Yeah, but the thing is, he can also just attack into the 1 unit first. Because the real problem with no disintegrations is it takes 2 actions.
That is. And it doesn't hit leaders. That is, I think, it just is significant a problem now. The Han Green...
or you just play a big Devastator, and now you have a Giant Space Sentinel.
Big Dev takes care of it. So, and he runs...
Double Dev, and now he's safe from a second Change of Heart, too.
Yep. Safe enough. I mean, it's still not a bad...
He's not dying.
Yeah, he's not a bad play, but crashing the Devastators into each other is a pretty good thing. All right, so Vader has taken some body blows, has 26 damage on base. Dooku is deployed. It is his action. Josh is deciding what to do. Fighting to go to 7-1 and win his last round of Swiss.
Yeah. And we're already in game 2, so I assume we're not gonna see an early concession here, even if he thinks he's got I would imagine even if he has nothing here, he's gonna try to go to next turn and draw something. Change of Heart next turn on the big Devastator would be huge.
Right. Let me look into... Can you see how much damage is on Dooku's base, Jeff, in the solo window?
9.
9. Okay, so it's 9 damage on Dooku's base right now. Taking a bunch.
Plus 9 more, so now you should be up to 18.
18 marked.
Yeah, 18 marked. I do think they missed a Vader ping earlier, but we're way past that now, and I don't think it's going to be relevant.
Right.
To the overall outcome.
All right, so we have Invincible coming down for
There's
a mere 3 resources. This might be setting up Barrage. So that's going to go to 22.
I think it is. That explains the 2 damage on Devastator potentially being impactful.
Right.
But he still dies to this other Devastator hit. I think he needs to try to top deck a Change of Heart. Because if you Change of Heart the Sentinel Devastator, he could be in business.
As far as the big Star Destroyers go, I mean, both players are 6-1 as we go through, which we've mentioned before. That's there. All right, so I think Josh conceded because he didn't have an answer. For the
he drew his cards for the next turn and did not draw a Change of Heart. Is what I think happened. So
I think that's exactly what happened. So shout out to George taking the day and improving to 7-1 and securing a day 2 entry for Vader Vault. Hopefully Josh has the breakers to also move to day 2, because who doesn't want to see a Dooku yellow? Day 2.
Yeah, it'll be exciting to see in day 2 for sure.
And with how fast that went,
want to see some more of that deck.
We're going to really try and see if they can seed another match.